Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, futures have gapped up again. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to break it down, starting with the dollar. Then we'll go over the U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, Bitcoin, the S&P, Nasdaq. And then we're going to start talking about the Dow. Actually, I've already checked them. All three of them, as the futures market have opened here on Sunday night, they've all gapped up. Nothing crazy, but still, nonetheless, it's not red. They are green. It's been green. It's actually been quite the rally since the election or since the vote. Yeah, anyway, call it the Trump rally, but it's sending it. So first and foremost, I definitely wanted the dollar to reject this zone, and it didn't. So I don't know how much there is to do on this holding. I don't know if I want to go along the dollar at all, just for now. But definitely watching this weekly zone, and pink is the weekly zone. So we tried to reject. We got 1 week above it. Let's see if maybe that's a fake out. We start to come back down. We'll have to see for now. Looking at that, if I was going to go long, it would have been down here. Looking at the Japanese yen, that needs to reverse because this is going to be hopefully the new world's dominant currency. And I say that in joking, just because I'm long this as they start to raise rates that should bring it up. Japan has been at, I don't know if they're not still negative. They went to negative rates for decades. So as far as the US dollar, Japanese yen, going short this is going long the Japanese yen and short the US dollar. So that's what I'm doing it as, watching this monthly zone right here. However, as far as the open goes, a little bit up. So I do ultimately want that to reverse. This alert, this alert got moved. I wish my alert was right here. In fact, it was actually right when I move it was right there. Right there, as a matter of fact. That green wick, I was waiting for this low to break. Green wick tagged it. I did go short. And it popped it right up. It's like, oh, really appreciate that. I wanted to break that low. I wanted to break that trend first, and it did for like a second. And then this was the election night. Just ripped this thing up. So we're coming back down. Hopefully that is a bear flag, but we shall see. Make sure you follow me for that to be a bear flag. Follow me if you want your trades to be green. Bitcoin. Now, here's a reason you should follow me, because you can go back and watch my previous streams. I told you guys, getting above this is it's brighter yellow for a reason. Getting above this and the trend line, it's probably going to go nuts. Here comes the hype. We're going to hit that. We are going to pull back, and we did just that. And the hype is here. Hype is alive. We're at 81. Well, I got the alert that we were at 81,000 earlier. I was in a meeting earlier. We are going to fine tune that. I was on my tablet on a higher time frame, but we're going to fine tune that just to this. And I was trying to explain what is going on and why I want to check that area. Because if we look at the daily, something's going on right here. We ran into an opposing force, and that's why I have that area highlighted. Because if we pull back, that's where I'm going to start looking to see who was worried about that level, and are they worried about buying it right now. When Cody and I got our Chipotle, Bitcoin hasn't pulled back. Very true. But nonetheless, I can afford to buy you guys Chipotle. My admins did lose a bet to me because I thought it was going to be kind of chill right here until elections. I kind of thought this move would, I thought, it's on course now. But I kind of thought we'd still be down here. We started the move a little bit earlier. Anyway. We're sending it now. So that's why you've seen on the previous streams me talking about, I bought MicroStrategies, which is not one that I usually trade. I have a lot of Mara and Beto, and then I have calls sold on Mara. We did let that go. If you follow, if you are part of the Patreon, right, and this is not a sales pitch, then you guys know we bought Mara, we sold some calls on it. So we made some money there. We made money on the shares, but we also let them go. They do have earnings this week, and I was kind of nervous that Bitcoin would pull back and then that miner just wouldn't do very well. So I am probably going to buy back in, but I want this to pull back first, because when Bitcoin pulls back, those the miners, they almost have like a leveraged effect. Like they can really take a hit. So we're going to get cute with that. And so what we did was and by we, I mean I post everything real time. So a lot of people, they have similar analysis. So the numbers are very similar to mine, which is why I say we. It's definitely not a call out service. You do what you want with the information. But anyway, bought some shares, sold a contract, rolled the contract. Shares went up. We let it go. So we made money on the shares. We made some premium on selling calls. I'm hoping that takes a bat to the back of the head. Mara comes down. We're going to buy right back up. We may sell some puts. I might just buy the shares for some of that hype. If you guys, and again, in my past few streams, I've been talking about how the miners, they are a Bitcoin hype ticker. If Bitcoin is just trending up, they're whatever. If Bitcoin is hyped, running, talked about on Facebook, then at that point it's going, and everybody just kind of floods into those. And every time I bring that up, somebody jumps in the comments and like, oh, the dilution's crazy. Yeah, it is. It's not something you want to hold as a trade. They can be very awesome, which is all I was really worried about. Let's see. All right, so jumping into the S&P. Oh no. Are these my fakes? All right, so we gapped up right here. This is awkward. Okay, so these zones are not real. They're not real because we haven't got there yet. We're at all-time highs. And I sarcastically, someone said, hey, we need new zones. Where should we sell this thing at? And I sarcastically put these zones on the chart. I was like, we'll probably sell off here. We'll probably sell off here. So ignore these for now, which is why they're not filled into yellow. But it is kind of funny that we have a wick right there. Ignore this. I have to delete these because they're just not real. Man, right now we're just kind of trending up. If there is a speed bump zone, middle class says prophetic. You middle class investing, you have no idea because this right here, it was this zone right here was the exact same thing. And it was just coincidentally end up being the exact top. And I called it out back here. Either that or you control the algos. If you watched me draw these zones out sarcastically before, you would assume I'm controlling the algos. Will says, hello, NasDaddy. I haven't changed the branding yet, but that will be my new name, NasDaddy. Okay, so as far as like drawing out maybe a blue speed bump zone, it's probably a little premature, but we're probably thinking somewhere right there for now. I wouldn't put a lot of weight on it. If you are scalping in the futures market, sure, it's probably about all I would do. We just kind of went flat there for a little bit. So we'll see. It was the end of the week, not something I'd put a lot of weight on, but nonetheless, we did have kind of that opposing force. Things will continue to go up. Like an object in motion stays in motion, right? Until acted upon by an outside force. And that's kind of what the stock market will do. Whether it's a lot of buyers or just zero sellers, that will send things up. So until those sellers do show up, we kind of just continue on this uptrend. So when they do show up, you get this sideways movement. All that tells you they equal out. If it for some reason takes more and tilts the scales, you see a pullback. So that's all I'm doing is kind of watching that and just kind of keeping an eye out because somebody cared about it at these levels. I don't know who, don't know why, and I really don't care. But people do vote with their wallets. And I say this all the time. I have an income bias, not a directional bias. I really don't care why things go up or down. I just know they do, and I'm just going to follow the money that does it because they seem to be doing all right. So for now, we'll keep an eye there. Like I said, we did gap up right here. Won't be much to even fill that. So, but we're definitely on the up and up. I mean, here is Trump being announced president right here. And we've just been, it's like everyone just forgot. Like everyone's like, 2021, that's it. We're here again. Let's do this. And then sends it. He's already given the mentorship the zones for 2025. Listen, you got to pay for that. That's proprietary. All right. And I'll let you know what the algos think later. Now, for everyone that does have my charts, if you're on that Patreon or anything like that, these are updated. These are the expected moves for the week. I will bring it up. Where's that indicator at real quick? This is not an indicator you guys can get. This is somebody inside the group coded for us. So we do have that. I'm just going to bring this up real quick. So IWM 584, QQQ $8.80, SPY 838, Tesla 29.70. Let's see. We got Meta 1836, Microsoft 894, Nvidia 646, Amazon 612, Apple 508, Google 457, Ford 43 cents, Palantir 336. Intel $1.35, AMD $6.35, and our newest addition, the Dow Jones $6.10. Now that is an up or down basis. That's what market makers have as far as risk, as far as delta hedging goes. They have that accounted for. So when we get outside these levels, it's you, the institutions, and the market makers. And if you don't know the difference in that, then you definitely should follow and stick around so you know what a market maker actually is. And you don't sound like one of those guys like, oh, the market makers are out to get you, because they're not. It's not how it works. Anyway, going over the NASDAQ, a little bit of a gap up again, still all-time highs, still very much in a bullish trend up. I know a lot of people are talking about puts, and the day Tesla has a red day, NASDAQ's could be in trouble. You know, if you looked at the Magnificent Seven, all red on Friday, except for who? Tesla. Tesla single-handedly carried the NASDAQ up, and I did take an L because I sold some 510, 512 call spreads on the QQQ, so I needed it 510 or below to get 100% play. We didn't get that, so hate that. Let's see. He spilled the secret sauce. Man, so we will break down Tesla here in a second, because there is zones above. We're not there yet. Unbelievable, right? We need to get Tesla needs to pull back. So we'll see. Honestly, if I take a trade or tell you guys I'm taking a trade, it's not that I will beat a dead horse. I don't know why people beat dead horses. Whatever that saying is, it's because I will take that trade 100 out of 100 times. Okay, there are some one-offs where I'm like, let's see what we got. It's never anything, whether I'm right or wrong. It could be a jackpot home run winner. And it's one of those, and if you're taking these plays, you guys have to recognize, like, man, that was just luck. You know, I couldn't repeat that. There's no sense in bragging about it, but you're just feeling froggy that day. You took a play, it happened to pan out. Outside of that, every trade I take is something. If I see that situation, I'll take it every time. So if we do jump up again, if we get to that 1.5 standard deviation mark, I'm probably going to sell some call spreads again. On every metric, we're kind of overbought. But man, so it's actually out of the book, Reminiscence of a Stock Trader. So I'm reading that, and they actually did. There's a quote in there. It says it's never too high to buy the stock, and it's never too low to sell the stock. And that really just rang a bell, because some people think it's over. I just said it's overbought on a lot of metrics. I think it is. That doesn't mean absolute jack. Well, when it comes down to it, if it hasn't hit zero, it can still go to zero. Unfortunately, there is no limit to how high things can go, so it can keep going. And I know a lot of you guys have heard the saying, it can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. And you want to make sure when you're catching the knife, going against the grain, you can die death of 1,000 cuts, even if you keep it small. So you want to make sure you're at least keeping it small, but also you want to have some rules. How many cuts do you want to take before you're like, enough is enough? You know, paper cuts suck. 1 or 2, not bad. Imagine a whole armful of paper cuts. That would hurt. That would be like a living, I don't cuss on this channel. You can guess the word. It would not be fun. So in this market, now, I do have a long position. Deltas wise, ultimately, I'm very long, and my portfolio going up a lot. In my trading account, though, I don't want to say there's FOMO, but I should have more Tesla. So while I'm waiting for the dip buy, because I don't care how high it goes, you know, we're looking at the Qs right now. It's at 514. I would rather it push up to 550, pull back to 530, and buy it there than buy right now at 514. I need that kind of structure. So if I don't have that, I'm just kind of waiting. So I am, in the meantime, kind of just knife catching. If we get a little bit up, and I think we're getting a little crazy, maybe market makers are going to rein it back in. If you don't understand that play, please don't take it. I'm taking those plays for now. Until I get the dip buy, then I'm going to be on the gain train. I don't like buying the peaks. And if I buy the dip and it just keeps dipping, the literal worst case scenario is I bought the top of the market. and then it crashes and goes forever. But that's what stops are for, right? So I'll take a loss there, and we'll just move on. If you think losses aren't part of the game, and I know everyone says that, oh, losing's part of the game, your actions do need to reflect that. People will repeat that to me, and at the same time, they'll message me and say, "Hey, I'm in this. What should I do?" It's just trending down, trending down, trending down. I'm like, "Oh, why didn't you sell?" It's like, "Well, I wanted to wait for it to recover so I could be green first." Like, so you're telling me you've never taken a loss your entire life, and you're just never going to take a loss? That's how you lose your whole account. Moving on to the Dow, we are probably going to just, if it wasn't for Tom Lee, we probably wouldn't be talking about the Russell right now. The Dow is at least red right now. Look at that thing. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. JK, false alarm. Now, that did have a gap up just like all the others. I know some of you guys probably don't know what a gap actually means. You're thinking, that's not a gap. It's not in your little brain. But we actually closed right here, gapped up, and opened right here. So that still technically is a gap. Again, on the up and up, we have the NVIDIA, everybody's favorite, joining this. So as you can see, NVIDIA will just start pushing this around, I'm going to do a request for a meme coin today. Is that allowed? Sure. Tesla appearance in the growth count soon. When Tesla pulls back, it will be in the growth count. I am too bullish not to have Tesla in every account of mine. Again, there needs to be some structure. Hang on real quick. Dow, $6.10 move. Okay, going into Tesla. And I made a whole video on Don Franz Show on that YouTube channel, Don Franz Show, a whole video about how I'm bullish Tesla, right? I've talked about this with my midship group. They're probably sick of hearing me talk about this. That energy storage went from 1.5 billion, just quarter after quarter after quarter, to 3.5, almost 4 billion. Energy storage is going nuts all of a sudden. So all of a sudden, it's not just a car company anymore. And before anyone says it in the comments, I'm going to hear it. Elon's a scam artist. They're going to, I don't know who says it. They're going to go bankrupt. Shut up. They're not going bankrupt. I don't care what you feel about Elon. Really don't. But very apparent. Somebody knows something. Energy storage gone up. I personally think they're about to start an energy race. But at the same time, I called this out a while ago, and I'm not going to keep saying this for everybody because you guys have all heard this enough. This spike down right here, and then this exact identical spike down, like a little kangaroo, little baby spike right here. Those are very identical moves. That is manipulation for someone bigger to get into Tesla. And Tesla went from institutional ownership of it was single digits, wasn't even 10%, to over 40% institutional ownership. So that tells me I'm just going to borrow from there. If they're voting with that much money, they know something that either I don't. I don't know what it is. I don't care. They're voting with a lot of their money, and people with that kind of money that can move a ticker like Tesla, they might have some insider knowledge, some illegal insider knowledge that we probably shouldn't know or be trading on. But I don't care because I'm going to follow the money, which is why I'm just too bullish Tesla right now. But like I said, it does need to pull back. Would I care if I bought it at 322 right now? No. For anybody following me, they're going to buy it at 322 because everybody can buy things when it's green. They have the memory of a goldfish. It's just going to be green forever. The second that thing pulls back sub 300, they're going to panic, and it's going to be my fault. So I'm not selling the Tesla I have in my investment account. But when this does dip, then you will see that call out, and it will be in that account. It's wild to see this because like he says, oh, maybe is that private, or maybe everyone can see it. It says the Biden discounts are gone. If you guys heard Trump's victory speech, it was basically F solar panels and F EVs. Zero surprise as to why Enphase was just extremely down the next day. I was a little bit more surprised to see Tesla because it basically said, Tesla at your core, we don't need anymore. It's basically what Trump said at that victory speech. Now, Elon put all his chips in there. So as long as Donald Trump doesn't burn that bridge, and I know some of you think he does kind of have that reputation of you can be his favorite, but he can also dump you like yesterday's news. So until that happens with Elon, we kind of have that special place. So maybe that's an advantage for Tesla right now. But clearly the cult following is out and strong. like pitchforks and torches lit. They're marching down the street right now. No way you'd want to jump on these train tracks and go short Tesla right now. You're asking to get ran over. The best thing you really can do is just wait for a pullback and buy. If you absolutely can't stand it, buy a couple shares. I mean, literally a couple shares. And then, yeah, if it pulls back, whatever, you're in it. So if it sends it, you're still in. If it pulls back just a couple shares, you can add on. There's ways to just scratch that itch before you just bet the farm on it and lose all your money on a pullback. You get emotional and make some stupid decisions. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Dogecoin, okay. Kool-Aid, Tesla flavor is still trending. It really is. And you can call it Kool-Aid. You can even hate Elon and say this is all junk. That's fine, but there's literally no denying the stock price. So you can either sit this one out, but if you're going to get in it, you better find a way to do it properly, or you get wrecked. Kiki says MicroStrategy details, please. What kind of details? It is a stock. Next earnings reports in 86 days. Average volume is 18.76 million. Oh, sorry. Average volume 30 days, 19.34 million. Market cap $54 billion, almost 55. I can break all the details down you want. They've missed the last 3 of their earnings. That's sweet. Doing good. For a while there, this was moving like a 4-to-1 for everything Bitcoin has. All sarcasm aside, man, with the run Bitcoin's been up, MicroStrategy, is that on Robinhood's 24-hour market? MicroStrategy looking to raise more money to buy more Bitcoin. Ooh, that sounds like dilution. Let me pull that up really quick. Robin has the 24-hour market, so I just want to see what's going on that one. See if the little overnight buyers are there. Because with the run Bitcoin's been on, it would not surprise me at all. Okay, no, it's only up 8 cents. Let's check. Let's see if Mara is. Is Mara? Oh, wait. The Robinhood's not open for another 15 minutes. So sorry. At the time I'm live, I won't be able to tell you that. We'll have to just check that out. I'm going to assume those are going to have a nice gap up. We'll see how it holds. Catching the knife with Dogecoin. Doge is now the Department of Government Efficiency. It's funny how that just has a ring to it. 29 cents. Wow. You said you're catching the knife on Dogecoin. Are you trying to go short? Because so far there's no knife catch. This thing's just going for it. And as long as everybody just keeps buying. Listen, guys, if you're in this, you're playing with fire. This is like playing a game of hot potato. And it's bright red right now. All right, fuse is lit. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money, and hopefully everyone does. The thing is, though, is people have money in this. They're watching their P&Ls go up. Those that can hang on longer will make more, provided they sell at the right time. But when the dominoes come down, like that game of Jenga, it crashes fast. And the buyers just really aren't there when things really come tumbling down. So that's all I caution is if you like what you're at, just remember this. You can make the best decision with the time, with the data that you have at that time. For all you know right now, selling at 29 cents is the best decision of your life. Tomorrow, this thing could get delisted. Not saying it's going to happen. And the chances are, I like when Mike says this. He says it's greater than zero. Probably very rare. Not a single fiber of my being thinks this thing's going to be zero tomorrow. But some weird world, it is. Could be $1, could be zero. Living in that what if world will just mess you up. If you're going to play the what if game, just daydream about the winning lottery numbers. That's a lot cooler than you selling some Dogecoin at 29 cents. Okay, make it cool, right? You're going to win the lotto, buy a monster truck, and run over all your neighbors' cars. That sounds a lot more fun than just imagine if I sold Dogecoin at $1. I paid $10 more in taxes. It's probably realistically what most of you guys are going to be saying. This has been red for months. This is just getting started. You got Sheeb and Pepe. The meme coins are sending it. Crypto season is back. Yeah, And who was it? There's someone in my group. I know who it is. I don't want to shout him out, but he says, you just can't talk sense into some of these guys. You know, he's on Reddit a lot. And if you're in meme coins, one of the silliest things you can do is try to be sensible talking to somebody who's all in on some meme coin, because they're all about it. They might tell you all about the protocol. They're going to tell you all these things about it and why it's going up. Guys, I'll tell you why it's going up. Just look up here. Here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin's sending it. There is a reason why there's Bitcoin and then everything else. Okay, it's just like the when the iPod came out, right? There's a whole bunch of MP3 players, but there was the iPod and then kind of everything else. Ethereum was like that with that Microsoft version. What was that thing called? The Sync or something like that. Anyway, everything else garbage, right? Those MP3 players, the ones sold at like $5 below the Dollar Tree. Nonetheless, people are piling in, which just means someone will make money. Try your hardest to make sure that person is you. Tomorrow is a holiday, Veterans Day. Are the markets open? Yes, they are. Bonds are not. By the time they say it's back, it's too late. Yeah, I got to say right now, like I just said, I'll repeat it one more time. You're playing a game of hot potato. Hang in there. Just make sure you have that exit strategy of, hey, when it hits this, I'm out. That's it. That's the best you can do, especially if you're up. The worst thing you could do, the part that makes me want to just wring people's necks, is when they're just like, it's up. Who was that Doge boy? Doge millionaire Doge boy. Guy goes from living in a 12 by 12, basically a prison cell, and he buys Doge. He's up literally millions on putting all his life savings, everything in this Dogecoin, and it goes up. He's up millions, joins the millionaire club in theory, on paper, but he says he's not selling because he's doing it for the people. F the people. I promise nobody cares about you, period. I don't know. I'm sorry if that sounds mean. They don't. They will enjoy watching you fall. You think people like watching you climb? Wait until you fall. Man, they're there with popcorn. They will never be closer. Don't let a green trade go red. That is the worst thing you could do. Mitchell saying, what's my prediction for Doge? Right now it's on the up and up. Who knows? I would watch the 30-cent level, and then I guess 70 and a dollar. That's it. In my honest opinion, Tesla will get a re-rate as they tie AI to their real-time sensor array. Okay. What do you think was a good entry point for Solana? Oh man, all I gotta do is just mention meme coins, and then TikTok's like, oh wait, what about this one? Oh gosh, what was that question? What do I think was a good entry point? I like higher lows, so I would want this to pull back, and you could draw a trend line right here. Honestly, if it pulled back to a 170, 175, probably. The key to trading is making money. The key to trading and making money is having a stop loss for every single trade. Yes. Man, if there was ever a class I could do with these ladies in my group, Lisa and Lori, they are like robots. Their losses, what do they lose? $10? It's so small. And then like every time someone loses in my group, I feel like I'm like, all right, I have to go play dead. I got to tell them like, hey, this happens. Sometimes you fall off your bike. They're like, oh yeah, I lost. Anyway, I'm on to this next one now. I'm like, oh wait a second. I don't have to break it down. Like, and there's just zero emotion with them. Middle class investing bought SOL at $16. Bought a crap ton. Not a bad trade. I'd be trailing that. I thought Don cared about me. Middle class investing says, F that. I take profits and help families in Gaza. Nice. Got to load up when it's crypto winter. Hang on. I got Solana at $7. It's above 200 now. Nice. I like these. Best monthly payment. Oh, hang on. Best monthly payment subscriptions for a trader. Can I just say I'm biased to my Patreon? That's it. What are you trying to subscribe for? Why don't you just get my charts? If you think there's some news you're gonna find, and guys, I'll be honest, I don't care if you never subscribe to me ever. I really don't. I don't make YouTube money. I make stock money, and I like to help. I didn't start this out to make money, guys. I got tired of repeating myself. It's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I thought this was brilliant. I was like, I'm gonna make a video. When people ask me the question, I'll just send them the link. Truly, because I'm lazy. It's like I just don't feel like answering. I don't like talking that much. And here I am. Uh, if you think by subscribing to some news source, you're just going to be first in line to their BS. That's it. It's not tinfoil hat theory. Again, picture everything that's happened in the world, everything daily, hourly, just day to day. Just think of how much news goes on, and then think, why was that news packaged, wrapped, shiny paper with a bow, and delivered right to your doorstep, right to your mobile device? Because they know how you're going to react to it. Why do they want you to react a certain way? And you can ask the people that were in my group a while ago. I went short the very top of gold because everyone kept saying gold was going to go to 3,000. We've seen some bullish stuff before here and there. Didn't mean jack. This one day, they are cramming it down our throats everywhere you look. I'm surprised I didn't drive down the highway and see billboards about gold to 3,000. I said, this is too much. I went short. I went short because it was on a nice uptrend. It was catch a knife regardless. Ended up being the absolute peak because all of it was just exit liquidity. They were trying to create exit liquidity. Ended up being a great trade. So I wouldn't subscribe to any of that garbage. Sorry. Find some people that know what they're talking about. News is always, it doesn't matter if you get the news 15 minutes late. Just get the news that day. That's really it. It's just good conversation piece. McLovin, he says, hold/sell NVIDIA before earnings November 20th. Your thoughts? It's an earnings play. If you have those chips on the table, they do stand a chance of getting swiped away. It really depends on your time frame. As a trader, I would say don't have it. If you can't stomach it, don't have it. I would imagine 20% down. And if you can't stomach that, I wouldn't be in it. As an investor, I plan on holding NVIDIA through a lot of earnings, up or down. You know, I'm not selling if it goes 20% up or down. So there's no point in me selling literally anything. For me to sell NVIDIA, it'd have to 10x tomorrow. And then I'd probably sell some. Maybe, depending on why I went 10x. But that really is it. If just again, you really have to picture some. Don't even picture worst case scenario. They come out and say we're a fraud. That's worst case. Picture a really bad scenario. Okay, 20% down, 30% down. Individual stocks move that. Okay, that's bad for the S&P, but an individual stock to move 30% on earnings, no, it's a conversation piece, but it's not unheard of. So make sure your allocation reflects that. I'll sell more puts on NVIDIA. Good premium, and I don't mind getting more. I think I'm going to sell more puts. I've for a while now, I've been allocating a lot to Meta. Meta's been my number one position for a while, and it's only getting bigger. But right now, yeah, I got to say Tesla's number one, NVIDIA second. I'm going to start selling a lot of puts on both of those, I think. It powers Square's platform, MQ. I'm going to do a couple more than I do have to get to my with the mentorship group. Again, so that's my Patreon. Sundays and Thursdays, they're actually Zoom nights, so I do have to get to them. Marqeta, they power Square's platform. This is why you don't buy Square. I wouldn't care what they powered. They could power NVIDIA's platform. You know, doesn't matter. If your stock looks like this, what's the sales pitch? Why am I interested? First of all, it's $3.74. Some of you guys might think that's a dip buy. It's priced that way for a reason. You know, there is a reason. Where's Tesla at? Tesla's $321. This is $3.74. Okay, that's after how many splits? Now it gapped down, it sold off, and the only thing the buyers could do was hold it sideways. Nothing about that says sign me up. If anything, if this was a $300 stock, that would be me going short. I can't short this. Best case scenario, it goes to zero and I make $3 a share. Banging. But no, if it looks like this, why would you think your money is going to go anything different? You bought at 380. Ooh. Hard stop. Sorry, my stop would be 335. It breaks that. And in case you ever have, some people say these really smart things of how much lower can it go, and I'll tell you, it's on the charts. It's on your screen right now. How much lower can it go? About $3.74 lower. It can go to zero. Don't believe me? Ask anybody that was invested in Boeing or General Motors when it got delisted. Yeah, fun. The better part is when the company comes back and they list shares on the market again. You don't get your shares back or anything, but if you want back in, you can buy some more. You can go for round 2 if you want. You can always go to zero. So for now, if you think that's a dip buy and a knife catch, hard stop 335. I don't care if I don't even like you. I would not be in it with your money if it broke 335. Tell us about my first trade. I think my first trade was Apple. No. One of my first trades, Macy's. Macy's, when I found out they were a real estate company, how much real estate they owned, I was, was it Apple? Apple or Macy's? I did the dumb stuff. I bought Starbucks. There was a long line. Apple, because people had iPhones. Things that don't actually make sense. And the market doesn't actually work that way. But I thought I was making some educated decisions. This is 2013. We were in a bull run. We were good. All I needed to do was buy, and I was right. It was like 2021, but just drug out a little bit longer. The only reason I made money in the beginning was because of the bull market. Just like people in 2021, they weren't actually right. They got paid regardless, but that's it. If I wasn't looking back and kind of realizing what was going on, those practices, I would not be making money today. I'll put it that way. Do I see the market pulling back before the year, including Tesla? Fingers crossed. What do I got to do? Rip a rabbit's foot off? I want the market to pull back. Historically, November and December are pretty bullish. The last 2 weeks of December, I might not even stream, or maybe I'll stream a little bit. I want to give plenty of heads up for that. Last 2 weeks are literally nothing. I could tell everybody to buy a single stock, and we would probably quadruple the volume. There's just nothing in there. Did you buy Macy's because of the Black Friday sales? No, I thought I had some insider knowledge. I was like, the Macy's parade? They own real estate across the country. I'm seeing this from a completely different angle. I don't care about the Macy's store. I thought I was an investor. I was like, I got this. I got an edge. I ended up making money, but it was like only because stocks go up at that time. Can I do Mara? Yeah. Wonder what that's going to be at tomorrow. Honestly, I'd really watch for it at this 20, we'll call it 2050, give or take. If Bitcoin pulls back, you're going to watch that thing get smoked. But I'm very interested in selling some puts on this one. Cheaper stocks are better. Sure. I don't know why, but yeah. Am I saying that? Shared the live. There we go. I'm about to end it though. That sucks. What is a good beginner broker to use? Robinhood gets a lot of hate. There's some things you can't do on Robinhood, but Robinhood does have futures, getting futures. I really would say, I don't know. Listen, I don't care if you're a beginner or not. Just know that your broker does. You are I'm not saying this to be mean. You're just a number on a clipboard. That's it. How much money of yours can they borrow to make more money? Can they sell your order flow? That's really it. So it needs to be something you like the platform. If you're new and so I use TradeStation. I don't think Weeble's bad. Robinhood's pretty. I say a lot of good things about Robinhood. But I also have TradeStation. You can't go short on Robinhood. There needs to be all the features you want and need on your brokerage. If there was something I needed and my broker didn't have it, and I've been with them for years, I would be gone the next day. That's how fast it would happen. The literal next day, I'd pay the taxes, I'd sell everything, and I'd transfer that money. That's how fast I'd be gone. So check out some of the different apps. That's the one cool thing about paper trading is you just get to know. That's all it's really there for, is to see how the software works. Maybe open up a few and then see which one you like. See, maybe you might gravitate towards one or the other. Is Kraken good? I've never had it. I know some people that do use it though. All right, but you could transfer stocks without selling and taxes. I know, but because of how I pay taxes, mm, don't get me wrong, that's still a tax load. I haven't done it, but I wouldn't even take the time to transfer. But yes, you can if you transfer from one broker to another, that is not a taxable event. What I just described very much is you pay taxes on those gains. So make sure you talk to your person, right? I'm not here to give you tax advice. Ask them or tell them to look up TTS, tax trader status, and that should kind of at least give them enough to talk to you about which route you want to take. But, ladies and gentlemen, what do I think of Publix? They made their name off of when Robinhood was getting they sell your info. Publix doesn't sell your order flow. Everyone else does. I don't know if that actually matters. I really don't. Anyway, I got to wrap it up. I do have to get to my Zoom call. If you guys are ever curious about that, just check out the Patreon. I tried to do all the sales pitches. It's there if you want it. But for everyone on TikTok, if there's something you want to go over, we probably did. If you go to YouTube and watch it, it's all there. You can rewind it. You have a full screen. You see the whole chart. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. You guys will see me again Wednesday. Have a good one.